So I'm now 2.5 years into building online businesses. My first business was an agency in the martial arts niche that was called Dojo Ascension, and that took me about 8 months to get up to 4 to 5 grand a month. During that period, I was in university while working a restaurant job at night, so I had no time to do it. I was not focused, nothing going for me there for 8 months in. Then, secondly, I started my other agency, which is in the real estate niche. This is called Estate Launch, and I got that up to 40 grand a month. And it was kind of my breakthrough. I was like, let's do this. I've seen a lot of success here. And then recently, very recently, I started Leverage Acquisition, which is my coaching consulting company, and that's doing fantastic as well. So what I'm going to be doing in this video, it's going to be super casual and just breaking it down of what I did and also what takeaways you can take away from my actual experience. And the reason I'm making this video is because there's so much fluff on the internet. And I was actually just watching some YouTube, and I was watching this guy make a video on what business model you should switch to or whatever it was, and he was saying so much without saying anything at all. And it's like you have so much information out there, and you're trying to find a path forward in the agency space, yet you're so confused. And this is directly correlated to my first point, actually, which is information versus execution. When you're starting the agency, you might be in the frame of, I need to do my research, I need to do as much research as I can. And then you go down this rabbit hole of YouTube content, go down this rabbit hole buying mentors or courses, whatever it is. But I bet most of you are just watching free stuff on YouTube or something like that. And what you find is that you get into this analysis paralysis stage where you're so stunned by all this information and you don't want to take a step forward. It gets so daunting. You have 10 people telling you 10 different things. And you don't want to do it because your brain is kicking up a fuss. You have pain avoidance in the background, eating you up, the procrastination that's telling you not to do the work that you need to do. And you're so confused, and that's kind of paralyzing you. That's called analysis paralysis. And what I'm going to tell you here is that I think of this like a supply and demand curve. The more information, the more paralyzed you get. And you being paralyzed means that you stop taking action on what actually matters in the business. So the first thing is, and this leads me to my first point concluded, is that you just need to do more stuff. And that might seem so simple, and you might take it at face value as that's so stupid. Like, Joe, what do you want about? You should be teaching me some agency stuff. But in reality, this is what it actually is. And why I wrote my notes for this video, I'm just going to say it. If you can sit down for 2 to 3 hours a day, and for people working jobs, I know, you could get ahead of 95% of agency owners. If you just make 100 cold calls a day and you sit down, I'm just going to sit on my computer. I will not have my phone near me. It's a mistake having my phone here. You're just not going to have your phone near you. You're just going to sit down and do some dials. You're going to get ahead of 95% of people. And I know this because I work with agency owners all the time. And not saying this is all of them that come to me and wanting help, but so many people who will want to get help by me or ask me questions. It could be in any setting on Zoom call, in my free community, whatever it is. I'll tell them to sit down for an hour and do cold calls. And they'll go, that's terrifying. Why should I do that? Why can't I just DM some people and not talk and not get rejected on the phone? Why can't I just do this instead? And they always resort to this pain avoidant activity that's going to get them less far as if they just did some calls, as an example. So what this means is you live in an economy now. It has the amount of paralyzation. You're so paralyzed on one side, which is action, you're not going to do anything. And you have the amount of information getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And the truth is, with this information side thing getting bigger and bigger and bigger every single day, you're going to take less action. And this is what I want to warn you about in this video, because you clicked on this video wanting some information, and I'm just going to tell you to take some more action. Okay? Because you can watch all this stuff on YouTube, and they're probably going to tell you 10 different things. You're going to be more paralyzed and you're going to stop taking action. This is really what's going to happen. And you will get ahead and build a business if you sit down and actually block off 2 or 3 hours to do some deep work. It doesn't matter what you do for the rest of the day. If you're a beginner and you need to make some progress, just block off 2 or 3 hours. And this is so simple. And I'm being so basic right now, but some people need to be told this. I needed to be told this when I started, because I was so paralyzed into doing anything at all that it took me so long to build the agency in the end. And this is very congruent with my second point, which is don't be afraid to fail and reframe in your mind failing as something that is beneficial in the beginning of doing anything. It's not like you're going to play guitar for the first time and just be shredding and doing guitar solos all the time. It's just simply not going to happen. And I use this analogy because there's this false expectation if you watch all the YouTube videos in the world and you over research and all this, like I just talked about, and you take some action, it should be perfect. That should be the standard for you. But the best business people, if you look at them, and we can use as an example Elon, which people hate right now, but I don't really care. That's just a good example. He's built the top business in the world. It's a good example. He takes so much action so much quickly, and he fails very quickly. They launch 3 to 4 rocket ships before one succeeds. Another example of this in his companies is that I just recently got Grok. This is the AI model that basically is beating GPT as the time I'm recording this video. And you can see the first few days of using Grok that's not as good as something like GPT, anything like this, as a large language model. But what he did quickly is the engineers launched it to get data and quickly fix things day by day by day. And now Grok is just surpassing GPT so quickly because their team is a bunch of 20-year-olds in a room working 12 hours a day and just failing on stuff and iterating on it so quickly that they're moving forward faster than anybody else. And this is a lesson for you in your business and your agency. It's that you need to do exactly that. You need to take so much action and don't be afraid to fail, because what you can do is iterate quicker than anybody else and you will move faster than anybody else. I don't want you to watch YouTube videos like this for 2 weeks and decide then I'm going to build my website and go high level, or then I'm going to reach out to 100 people. Like, even if you don't know some objection handles to objections on a call, or you don't know how to pitch it correctly, just start doing it. Because what you'll find is you'll do 100 calls and 5 of them will go really well and you'll get a positive response. And the 95 didn't go well. Just listen to yourself doing those 5. And the next day, try to make all of your calls like those 5 calls so you've got the bookings from. And you just do this day by day and you take the top percentile of actions that are driving the result and just study them. Study what you're doing. And this is failing and learning. This is a feedback loop. This is iterating off what you're doing. And there's this saying that says improve 1% every day. You might go, oh, 1%. Hey, look, that's not a lot. That compounds. And I bet you're not even improving 1% a day. I don't even think I'm improving 1% a day, because if I was improving 1% a day, I'd be 365 times better in percentile every single year. I don't know if that's happening too much. Maybe not at that rate. But it's a good example where if you just get a bit better each day by taking the action versus the person who sits in their room and watches 10 cold call videos, you are going to do significantly better just calling people up than watching some YouTube videos or paying for $50 course that someone gave you. So take action very quickly. And I really should have done this when I was starting, because I was so paralyzed from the information that I didn't take action when I should be taking action. Just iterating very, very quickly on that action would have saved me so much time. The last thing that has helped me significantly speed up my progress compared to anybody else, something called Parkinson's Law. And it states that the work is going to expand to the time frame you give it. So if you give something a day as a due date, you're going to work all day to get that thing done. If you give yourself 7 days, you're going to take those 7 days and probably leave it all till last minute, because you know you have those 7 days to achieve whatever you're doing. And we know this in school. If you were educated, you would know that whatever due date you have on a project, you usually will work all night the night before to get that done. And how you can apply this to your own life in actually building a business, you set yourself extremely short deadlines. And if you're working on a team, or if you have any friends that hold you accountable to things, you share these deadlines with them. And those people, if they're good friends, should hold you accountable to that thing. Or if you don't have those people, you're going to rely on yourself to do so. But I can tell you that those other people are going to be significantly more motivating if you told all of them about your deadline. What am I getting at here? With your work, with your projects, with your VSL, with your outreach, with doing whatever you want to do to actually take the next step forward in the business, whatever's on your head right now, something's probably popping in your head as I'm talking, I should really get this thing done. What you can do is tell everybody about it. Tell your best friends you have to get this done by this date. And if you don't, there's a repercussion. Okay? Now that's an extreme example, but I'm doing it for a reason. I have a group chat with my founders of Leverage Acquisition, and we have this to-do list that's shared between us. And we put due dates on the to-do list. And if I didn't have that, I would be lazy as hell. That's the truth of it. You can make a lot of money and still be lazy as hell. And thoughts creep in telling you not to work all the time. Guess what keeps you motivated? Having two other people, extremely industrious and conscientious, and workaholics, also watching your to-do list to see what you're actually getting done. If you actually want to achieve great things and big things, including making a lot of money with the business, providing a great service to customers, and getting to 10, 15, 20 grand a month, you have to be held accountable. I can tell you, if you're starting out and you don't have discipline and you're procrastinating and all this stuff like I used to do really all the time, you cannot rely on internal accountability. You need external accountability as well. So it's double. Because the likelihood of you holding yourself accountable to taking a cold plunge or doing 100 burpees or whatever it is when you miss something is not going to work. You need more. So if you're trying to stop your procrastination or get stuff done, work 5-6 hours a day or even 10 hours a day, that's how you do it, because your brain will snap into this ultra disciplined mode and turn off all your distractions and get off YouTube, get off your video games, whatever the heck you're doing, and get that thing done if you have so much pressure upon you to actually get it done. And that has helped me significantly in achieving big things, including taking 3 months to work on this 8-hour project for agency owners, 8 hours long of recording. It took me 3 months straight. I wouldn't have got that done if there's two other people holding me accountable to every single document I was getting done, every single recording I was getting done. It took so long. So if you want to do incredible things, including making something that is so good that your market cannot beat you whatsoever, and you're hitting 15, 20 grand a month, do that and watch yourself make incredibly fast progress in anything you're doing. So if this helped you, something a little different, I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe to the channel. Also have a free community, leverage acquisition in the description, which is 60 minutes of agency training. If you want more stuff with agency stuff, go in the description for it. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.